together as a community to celebrate those who have done extraordinary work, either in their local congregation, in the community, or for Capitol Hill Group Ministry. And so at our 9th annual Interfaith Thanksgiving service, we thank the Lord for partners and for people to come and gather in fellowship and to serve, and to keep our motto of serving the community one neighbor at a time alive. Our first round of volunteers come from all over Capitol Hill. We have Harry Valcourt and Omari Battles from Capitol Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church. We have Bob Hoffman from Washington City Church of the Brethren. Carlos Gonzalez from St. Joseph's on Capitol Hill. Nancy Hartnagel from St. Peter's Catholic Church. And Lucille Wells from Mount Moriah Baptist Church. And if you'd allow me just a few minutes of your time, I'd like to read a bit about each honoree this evening. Harry Valcourt is from Capitol Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church, and he oversees the weekly outreach by Capitol Hill members to the homeless. His teams go out each week to provide food and basic amenities, such as coats and hats, scarves, gloves, and socks, to the neediest. They also host an annual dinner at a selected shelter during the Easter season. Omari Battles is also from Capitol Hill Seventh-day Adventist Church, and Omari was just ordained as a deacon. This young man has given tirelessly to serve the nation's needy. He regularly volunteers on projects to protect our wetlands and to serve the homeless. He also works with Rebuild Together, serving low-income, disabled, and elderly homeowners to restore and upgrade homes. And he works with a program that helps homeowners save on utility bills by providing energy-efficient home repairs and weatherization. Bob Hoffman is from Washington City Church of the Brethren, and Bob has been a faithful and dedicated volunteer in the Brethren Nutritious program called the Soup Kitchen, giving one of his days almost every week that they're open. And they're generally open from June until the beginning of October. Carlos Gonzalez from St. Joseph's is a native of San Antonio who has lived on the Hill for the past 37 years. He's a professional actor who's worked at the area's finest theaters, including Arena Stage, Ford's Theater, the Shakespeare Theater, and others. He'll next appear in Zorro, opening in January at the Source Theater. He serves at St. Joseph's as a lector and is willing to help out with anything that needs to be done. We recognize him today for his generous dedication of time for the patients at the Specialty Hospital of Washington here on Capitol Hill. Carlos volunteers there regularly in the Recreational Facility Department. Nancy Hartnagel of St. Peter's Catholic Church was born and educated in Albany, New York. She's lived here on Capitol Hill since 1975. Before retiring, she worked in journalism as a reporter for the late Knickerbocker News in Albany and as an assistant managing editor at Science Magazine and a reporter and copy editor at Catholic News Service in Washington. She is a Eucharistic minister and lector at St. Peter's and has served on several parish committees. We recognize her today for helping to organize and carry out with Margaret and Michael St. Peter's monthly bag lunch ministry to homeless and hungry neighbors since 1990. Lucille Wells from Mount Moriah Baptist Church is a native of Petersburg, Virginia. She has lived on the Hill for over 50 years. She is a member of the Kingman Park Civic Association. Mrs. Wells works faithfully in her church and is a very active member of several ministries, including the Christian Education Ministry, the Usher Ministry, and the Culinary Ministry. She visits the sick and shut-in on a regular basis and is always willing to help out whenever she can. Mrs. Wells volunteers as an outreach coordinator for Christ House, which is a shelter for homeless men, and is also a Supreme Deputy for the Order of the Eastern Star. To all of our volunteers this evening, I'd like to say congratulations and thank you for your service. Thank you very much. Thank you. At this time, we'll have another selection by remembrance from Capitol Hill Seventh-day Adventists, and they will be singing The Heavens Are Telling. Following this selection, we'll have our next round of honorees come forward, and they will be presented by Dorinda O'Brien, former board president of Capitol Hill Group Ministry.